Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Galactic Odyssey Collection Paradron Medics. You can see Lifeline and Ratchet there. And we'll go ahead and put it off to the side for now, because we're going to look at this box real quick. And yeah, it's once again, a kind of plain cardboard box that was some nice designs there. Transformers logo, you got that, and Cybertronians, barcode things, 8+ Hasbro, little hexagon grid pattern thing going on. Up here you got the War for Cybertron logo on more of that pattern. Over here you got warnings and copyrights and all that stuff, and please recycle. On the back you got pretty much nothing except a little bit of the sticker and then more of that barcode stuff. And here you got the sticker. This is what it is inside. Inside the box though you got the the map, which is not playing well with the lights, at least according to this. Then you got the map here of Micron, Metropolis, Dominus, Biosphera, and Paradron, all there on the map and on all that stuff. Inside, of course, you got the tray. And with the War for Cybertron logo right there on the inside. Of course, you got the tray where the figures are. And underneath, you'd have the instructions for both of them, which works pretty well. And you got this little card here, which is Paradron. Paradron right there. On the back you got a little bio thing. Pacifist planet. Terrain, mostly cities. Sectors, allied. Allied coordinates. Zone 3, District 3418, Aspect 1. Known hazards, none. A bunch of different languages. And primary life forms. Paradron Autobots. Peaceful colonists from Cybertron. Resources. High levels energon detected. Key data. Inhabitants or refugees from Cybertron will not engage in combat. Planet accessible through space vortex. There you go with that. And inside you also got that pattern again on the bottom of the box. So there you go. Yeah. Lifeline and Ratchet, the 2-pack from Amazon. And apparently kind of in a weird spot sales-wise right now, because apparently people are having a hard time getting them. But yeah, right here you got Ratchet. You can see he's a white and red van. We got a little gun attached to him because I forgot to pull that off earlier. Yeah, red and red ambulance van, little Autobot symbol right there. Translucent blue windows, little wipers picked on black grille and bumper, white headlights and all that stuff. This is based on the Siege mold, which so has the Siege wheels and the Siege feet. Got the nice red stripe, all that stuff, little light bar, which is removable if you don't want it there for whatever reason. If you just want a white and red van, you can untab that. It's just 2 tabs, like that. And of course you could take the gun and peg it onto the roof if you want to. That's a thing. It's an option if you want, or like I was doing, you can store it back here on one of these pegs. Just because unfortunately there's no real underside storage. I mean, you could peg in here, but then it can't really, roll. Yeah, it does actually roll pretty well. There are upgrade kits out there for this guy, about the feet and the wheels if you don't want those, because most of it's pretty earthy except for those things which kind of stick out kind of bad. I think that's the biggest thing against this guy, is just simply the feet and the wheels don't quite match. I don't care personally so much about the wheels, but the feet do bother me a little bit, that they're just kind of there like that. But otherwise it's actually fairly solid alt mode and everything. I do like how it looks. And just for comparison's sake, here he is with the Siege Ironhide, which, yep, you can see it's a bit taller because of this extra bit, which got some people into the. But you can see the wheels are the same. You got the feet sticking out and all that stuff. But they did do quite a bit of remolding. You can see that they did quite a bit of remolding for the Earthrise version. Yeah, there's an Earthrise Ironhide as well, but he's in a 2-pack with Prowl, which is also Amazon exclusive and difficult to get your hands on. We'll put it off to the side now, because now we're going to look at Lifeline here. And Lifeline is a repaint of RC, Earthrise RC, which I did not get because, well, I didn't want a third RC. There's no reason to. But, getting this, don't mind that so much. I was going to get Ratchet anyway, so I'm going to get it. Might as well do this, right? Anyway, here you can see it's a kind of a seafoam green with white, a little Autobot symbol, transparent fin thing there. You got some pegs here, although they're not really for the blast effect so much as for something else. The wheels are also transparent. Little tiny things. You can roll. Barely has a ground clearance. Yeah, you got all this stuff. No real paint out here, so the white. No like headlight pick out or anything. And back here you've got, well, open gap. And yeah, the robot's just folded up underneath. You can literally, if you knock the pin out, I believe if you knock a pin out, you can basically separate the robot from the car and have two separate things, because that's just how it is if you want a G1 accurate RC. So, yep, just folded up underneath like that. And on top of here, you do have some seats molded in, and a little tiny steering wheel and whatnot in the... See whether you see that, but yeah, little steering wheel and dashboard and stuff molded into the car there, and a little translucent windshield and everything. Also, the gun stores away right here, like that. It kind of sticks out a little bit, but because it's clear, it's not too bad, but it is there. And we're also a quick comparison. Here she is with the Generations and Titan's Return RCs. Give you an idea. Yeah, these two are actually pretty similar in size. And pretty almost identical in size. In fact, this one's I think a little bit wider, maybe. Not even that. They're about the same size and everything, so yeah, there's that. This is a little bit bigger, but I'll say this as a toy, I think I prefer this one overall. I know that might not be a popular opinion, but I think this is actually much better as a toy. If you're looking for G1 accurate, this might be their best bet, even more so than this, but yeah, I think as a toy, this is just better, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, you can see how they compare to each other there. So yeah, the alt modes, pretty solid overall. I think pretty solid looking overall. Both of them have their little compromises. Like I know this whole roof section upsets some people because it comes off, and this, well, it's a shell former, and that upsets people because like they don't understand that. Well, if you get the G1 accurate RC you want, you're gonna have to deal with the shell forming thing. But anyway, otherwise they're pretty solid alt modes, and they look pretty good together, and you know, medics and all that stuff. This was from one of the, I can't remember, one season 3 episode. I can't remember which one. Just, yeah. Anyway, transformations. Let's see, which one should I transform first? How about Lifeline? Why not? So yeah, first thing you want to do there is untab the gun. From that, put it off to the side. And then from here, you want to go ahead and come under here and take the legs here and swivel them around like this. And then go ahead and unfold them like that. And that will also kind of untab the thighs here from these tabs right here. Then you want to kind of try to get the arms out if you can. If you can, it's not a huge deal, but helps get them out of the way a little bit. If you get your fingers in there in any way. Just kind of get them a little out of the way, just like that. And you want to go ahead and, well, start untabbing the main body and stuff and hinging it forward a bit like this. It's a double hinge up here behind the back and stuff. You want to kind of move her out of the way like that a little bit. And then, okay, this is kind of the trickiest part. You have to untab this part, and you try not to separate this whole part of the car. You have to untab it without separating it, and then you have to raise it up. See, there's this little, I'm not sure how you can see that, but there's this white thing right here. This little slider bar. You want to slide it down this post. Without untabbing, I'm pretty sure just untabbed it a bit. I did. Because it starts untabbing pretty easily once you've transformed it a couple times. Unfortunately, it loosens up a little too much. But you want to, see that you want to slide it up that post. Because down for the car mode, you want it all the way up. Also, going back to car mode, it can be a pain in the butt to line this up with the hole in the back for it, but it's doable. But yeah, you want to slide it up and get it out of the way like this. While you're here, go ahead and take these flaps and fold them up inside like that. Fold it up inside and collapse this like that. Go ahead and rotate it around like this. Leave that as is right now. You come here and take this this front section of the car, fold that down, and it'll fold into there like this. Take the sides of the car, fold them in like that, and then you want to go ahead and bring this down as much as you can. Rotate the head around, like so. And then take this, and there's 2 tabs right here, and they'll tab into these slots right here. And you bring it in, and at least on mine, it was a little annoying trying to get them to actually tab in. They did not like to tab in initially, but once you do get the tabs and everything lined up, it is rock solid. Just a matter of actually tabbing it in the first place. But once you do, it is solid. And anyway, from there, go ahead and mess with the arms as you need to. Rotate these at the thighs, and there's little detailing here which will help you line it all up if you need to. Rotate it around, and then take the feet, move them down. And then you got Lifeline here in her robot mode. Right, and Ratchet here. To the side for a bit. Ratchet here. Well, first thing you want to do there is take this windshield, move it forward like this, and then take this whole top section, including these windows. You want to move these windows outward a little bit. It helps a bit. Then you want to unpeg this whole roof section right there. It's pegged into 5 spots. There, and there. And then you want to take these windows and fold them in like this. They'll just kind of peg in like that. And then you put this off to the side. You know, parts form and then scream about it on the line. And then you go ahead and take these panels and untab them and move them back. Untab these panels from each other like that. Move them out and then collapse them into the legs. Make sure it's done all the way. So that. This part right here, what you do is you want to take the bumper and move it down, move it out of the way. And you take this piece and slide it out a bit, just so it clicks out a little bit so you can rotate this freely. And then click it back in. Then you can go ahead and untab the arms from each other, bring them down. Take this panel right here and move it forward like that. Take the head, move it out, and tab it in right there. And then take this panel right here, and there's two little slots on the inside of the windshield. You want to in that tab right there, and then just go ahead and do that right there. There and that. There you go. That's Ratchet's robot mode. Yep. Yeah, again, they look pretty good. This is very, very reminiscent of G1 RC, and I guess by extension the medic from that one-time medic from the show, except with the enormous backpack, which is kind of expected. I mean, this is just going to be a thing with a lot of RCs. They have to. There's some sort of chicanery is going to happen regardless if you want, you know, about the backpack, even with masterpiece scale. And for example, MMC, what they had to do was just straight up make the car small just to make the backpack non-existent, or at least smaller. Man, and of course you got Ratchet here, who's a bit, you know, bit bulkier, you know, taller, all that stuff. Still kind of hollow back here like the original and everything, but again, it's in the back, so it doesn't bother me. He's got white thighs, red, gray hands, you know, gray crest and everything. Some people I saw custom, someone painted a lot of this red because comics, I guess. Yeah, of course, they have the weapons. You got this really, like, almost impossible to see clear pistol. Not sure why you can see that at all. But yeah, it's completely clear. That can just go in her hand just fine. And of course, he's got his pistol that you can put in his hand and drop that. You could mount this as like a little shield thing. And there you go. That's the weaponry. Again, they look good, and I do like this stuff. I know some people really don't like how this is a parts forming thing, and people don't like the shell forming on her, but like they're still buying them, so Hasbro must be doing something right. Personally, I don't mind this because it actually has a function here. It doesn't just like peg it on elsewhere. It becomes a shield, or, you know, if you want to mess with it a bit. Yeah, you got the shield thing. It's like this almost like a melee weapon, so you can like stab someone with it, you know, like a pile driver or something, just stab someone with it. And also back here, if you unpeg it, there's a little slider here on this peg. You slide that, and these guns come out. Now it's, well, that can be like a rocket launcher or whatever, cannons or whatever. You can also hold it this way. They kind of, that's how they show it in like instructions. They have it holding in his hand, but like he doesn't do that very well. It doesn't peg in super well because of the molding and everything. So it's like it's kind of loosely held. It tends to work better as an arm-mounted thing. But I just like how, you know, you can shoot someone and then it spins around and slides, and now it's a pile driver, and yeah, he can use that. And that just, and of course it's just, you know, you can also, if you want, you can mount it as a shield. You got a lot of options with that. So there's also another thing you can do with this stuff. You can also, of course, you know, peg it on the back if you want. You know, if you just don't want him holding it. There's a peg hole back here, so you can just, there you go. You can also, there's a couple other things you can do. Not a whole lot, mind you. You kind of pseudo have it like as a stretcher of sorts, although there's this peg here, so that kind of can be uncomfortable. But the other thing, of course, you can do is, well, you open this stuff up. Just open the stuff out like this and move this out. Move these out like that, and you got this thing. And you slide this forward again. You got this thing, and you can actually attach this gun, and you got the kind of a facsimile of the old battle platform the G1 version it came with. So it's like, that's cool. I guess, although you can't really ride it super well. Well, maybe if you can peg it in right. Let's see if I can do this. Use these pegs here. So, nope, another space wrong. Oh well. Hey, he's got this little battle platform if you want. You can do that. So the other thing you can do here is a lifeline here. This can come off if you want. What you do is untab this. Right here, you press this in. This little side thing. You press this in. This releases this little thing. You can then slide this out and slide it on the other side. There's no release on that side. And this comes off. And hey, look, the backpack's smaller. And it is still pretty G1 accurate. Now it's slimmer, so, you know, that's a thing you can do. But this also has a purpose in this mode if you wanted to. So what you do is you move this back, rotate this around and take this and slide that up like that. And then what you do there is take these things and fold them out. You got to fold them all the way out like that. And then fold this out like this. This one is a little more stubborn. I'm not sure how that common is, but this is way more stubborn. It clicks loud and it scares me a little bit. That's going to break. But yeah, you do that. And then you got a little hover sled thing. What you do is you've got these little peg holes on the bottom of your feet, and they match up with these pegs. So you can peg it on, and then boop, unpeg it accidentally twice. And you can peg her on and then kind of have her you can have her riding like a sled, like a hover sled thing. That's the idea anyway. Fortunately, I wish there was like a Tamashi stage port down here. Instead, you just, well, there's nothing really. There's no ports or anything down here for anything to plug in, so you just kind of have to, if you're going to have it hovering around, you're going to have to do like a clip around thing, and it's going to be a little awkward and weird. Yeah. I kind of wish this, well, I wish this kind of was a little different. Like, I almost wish the design of this was a little different, so, like have this around like this and like have these as guns or something that way. I don't know, it's a little different, but they didn't do it that way. It's not a huge problem, it's just kind of odd, but it's still, it's still kind of like, yeah, this is clearly just the back half of the car, and they're trying to make it do something beyond just fold up on the back, but yeah. It kind of works, if you want that slimmer profile for the backpack, this is your only way of getting it without just tossing this off to the side. So there you go on that. So yeah, that's the alternate stuff you can do. Articulation, lifeline. Real quick, I'm going to put it off to the side. Lifeline, I'm going to take her off this thing. Lifeline here can, let's see, head is on a swivel, I think. Yeah, I think it's just a swivel. It's hard to tell, but it looks like it's just a swivel because it goes left and right, but I can't really go up and down. It feels like I'm going to stress the plastic if I do that. Shoulders can, move pretty freely, forward, back, although back is in the way, outward, and they go pretty far up. There's a bicep swivel right there. There's a hinge, pretty good hinge. The hands can swivel back and forth. They're not on ball joints or anything, so you got this hinge here. There's a wrist hinge. I'm not sure why, but you got that if you want. It's there. There's a waist right there, waist swivel. There also is a Tamashi stage port on here, so if you want to use that instead of trying to clamp around this thing, you can, but there's that thing. Hips can go forward, back about this far, outward about this far. You got a thigh swivel up here. as well. You can also use the transformation swivel, although it will break the sculpt, but you can use it if you just need a lot more outward or inward swiveling for whatever reason. You got a double jointed knee because of the transformation, and because of that you can kind of change how the knee looks, although that kind of looks weird, but you can use it like that, and it folds up pretty well. So that actually also extends forward a little bit too. And the feet can go forward and back, mostly back, but a little bit forward if you want. You got that, and you got a tiny bit of ankle tilt, which is kind of useless because you got this, and it kind of clicks over to this. Yeah, so it's really hard to get like in between those spots without snapping back to one or the other, but there is a little tiny bit of ankle tilt right there. The other thing about her is I forgot to mention this stuff, but yeah, the details and whatnot. Yeah, you got the face, blue eyes, purple face, pink lips, a little green, specks of green on the helmet thing, little tiny Autobot symbol, all that stuff. You got the green knees, green feet, yeah, great, little bit of like gray here on the waist. Right there, green arms, kind of squared off. Yeah, you got the backpack back here, and it's the backpack. I mean, there's not a whole lot there to talk about, but yeah. So yeah, there's their whole thing right there. And also, of course, there's Ratchet. Articulation-wise, his head is on a ball joint, so left and right, up and down a little bit of waggle. Actually, quite a bit of waggle, all things considered. That. Shoulders can rotate around. They got this hinge. They got this hinge a little bit. There's a little bit of hinging there from the transformation if you want. It can't move too far, but you got that. So you got that quite a bit outward. Got a bicep swivel. Got a elbow, about 90 degrees on that. Wrist do swivel. I keep forgetting to mention these on my reviews, but the wrist do swivel. There's a waist swivel, unhindered right there. Pretty good. Hips forward, pretty far. They got a good bit of forward. Backwards, pretty far. Outwards, really far. You got a thigh swivel. You got knee. Whoops, undid that. Got a knee, which about 90 degrees, a little tiny bit over actually. And you got darn good ankle tilt. 90 degrees of tilt, no forward or back, but he's got darn good posability. In some ways better than her, and she's got a couple things which are better than him. But yeah, good posability. And again, you got some good detail here. You got the translucent windshield. You got the wipers still there. On there, you got some red striping from the van mode. You got some tech detail all over. You got the gray fist. You got the little bit of red on the shoulders. Gray crest. He's got a silver face, blue eyes. Yeah, it's not actually a whole lot of paint to him. He's mostly just white and red. I will say also, this also holds together better than my Ironhide from Siege. This stuff's still a little loose, but it's not popping off constantly. It's looser than I like, but still, at least it's not popping off constantly and driving me crazy because of that. And everything stays together, and there's no weirdness with the feet or anything. There's that. Comparison, real quick. Here's Lifeline with Generations RC. See that? Oop. Actually, just going to fall over. Okay. And Titans Return RC. Again, I find this to be an overall better toy to play with. This is probably, if you're going to be the most accurate to G1 RC, if you're going to find the RC, this will be the one right here. If you just want screen accuracy, but if you want a fun toy, I would recommend this one. This one is kind of showing her age, and I think at this point it's almost like a redundant to keep her. I might just go ahead and sell her off. I don't know. But there's those. So those are those comparisons. And Ratchet here with Siege Ironhide, so you can see, because I didn't get Siege Ratchet, or I'm not getting Earthrise Ironhide, but that's difficult at this point anyway. So yeah, you can see the difference. A lot of the similarities. They share the same basic mold, so like the arms and legs and feet and whatnot are pretty much identical. The majority of the green molding was like the windshield and front bumper and all that stuff. That stuff was, and they added the little roof thing for the van, but everything else is largely the same mold. Although the right here that you can see they tweaked the molding on these panels, but the panels still serve the same function. Heck, even in the back here, you can see some of the differences, but largely also a lot of the same. So there's that. And of course, just final comparison, just because, well, I guess at this point, always do it with the main lines. Here he is with there they are with Earthrise Optimus, who is not standing properly for some reason. There we go. Yeah, you can see right there. There he's with Earthrise. There they are with Earthrise Optimus. There you go. Okay, so overall, I like these figures. I think they look good. I got some pretty good ones. I've heard some pretty iffy QC issues here and there. I've heard people with like broken ones and missing parts and just whatnot, stressed plastic, etc., etc. I got pretty solid ones. The only thing that worries me is, quality-wise, is Lifeline's little surfboard thing that to make it move outward. It's a bit scary on one side. It snaps really loud, and I'm a little worried it's going to break one day. But I like these figures. I think they're good. At least my Ratchet, at the very least, is an improvement over my Ironhide, for example. And I heard that pairing the fairly consistent amount around the fandom, which is Earthrise seems to be the Earthrise versions of Ironhide and Ratchet tend to be better than the Siege versions. I do like them. The thing is, they're it's a $40 set because it's 2 deluxes, but here's the thing. Amazon is pretty much sold out at this point, and scalpers are going crazy with it. I don't know if Amazon will ever restock them. They might not. If you can find them at a decent price and you're looking for a good Ratchet, this is a good way to get them. It's a good way to experience at least this mold of RC if you're unsure. Maybe you already have an RC, you're not sure if you want to get this one. That's why I did. I didn't want a third deluxe RC, so I got this. So Lifeline's there and everything. Of course, there's a good old sell off the one you don't want. But yeah, any which way, these are not going to be easy to find at this point, which is unfortunate because I think they're worth it, getting it. I think they're worth picking up if you can. It's just good luck at this point without paying absurd amounts of money. I've seen these things go for I think I saw someone trying to sell the Ratchet and Lifeline for $100 each. Don't pay those kind of prices. You might have to pay a little over sticker, but try to find it. If you're going to buy it, please try to find it without paying way too much. So, good luck with that. I don't think they're worth that much, but I don't know. We'll see how it works out in the future. Hopefully, the Amazon restocks them or something. Apparently, other places, the good old Robot Kingdom has been grabbing them from Asia. So, you have to pay a bit of premium shipping for that, but I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on how bad you really want Ratchet, I guess. And I'm not sure. Most people aren't really that excited for Lifeline, but she's actually a good toy, except for the whole, shell thing. The shell thing doesn't actually bother me that much, really. It's it's understandable if you're trying to get a G1 accurate RC, it's the compromise you're going to have to get. But I prefer the Titan's Return RC just because I think it's a better toy. It's not a bad toy. It's just I think that Titan's Return at least has a much more fun transformation. And yeah, and also to be honest, the roof coming off on Ratchet here doesn't really bother me either because it actually has a purpose in robot mode. If it just was, just slap it on the back and call it good, I'd be kind of upset. But because it, does something at the very least, and it actually does look like a shield rather than with Lifelines there, her hoverboard thing does look like a back half of the car. And, it just looks like the back half of the car, but this is Ironhide's or Ratchet's thing here. It looks at least actually does look like a shield at the very least. So I think with Ratchet, I can give it a pass for that. Lifeline's a little more difficult, but at least it folds up onto the back if you really just don't want that. But if you want that slimmer backpack, you're going to have to deal with that in some way. But yeah. And also, she's a little finicky to get all transformed because of the removable part. That's the most annoying part. That is kind of annoying. I didn't really bring that up too much, but yeah, it's a little frustrating. Ratchet's straightforward in transformation. She's just really frustrating. So, still recommend it though. It's still worth it. I feel it's just not that worth it. If they're asking $80, pass on it. Don't pay $80 for a set. Anyway, I've been rambling about it long enough. I think I just like them, and hopefully you'll be able to find a set of your own without paying too much. So that's it. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. You know, check me out on Twitter, my Nemesis Prime 1. There's also a Patreon and coffee if you want. And I see you next time with another video review, which actually might be something, you might see one of these figures pop up again. So, see you then.